Hi, Collective. I'm Ancient. Um, I feel like this message is around an existing connection, or some of you could be navigating a situationship. This is for those of you that are looking for the undercurrents to things being felt but not said. Okay, so we start with the connection of the foundation. Now, if we see the Two of Cups, the soul level bond is strong. Even if the surface is rocky, if we see the Five of Pentacles, there's a feeling of emotional poverty or being left out in the cold that needs addressing. All right. All right. So this energy is reflecting, it's mirroring back what we aren't seeing. Your role, we have the Empress. This is a you versus them, is what I'm getting. It's like a you versus them. You are the nurturer, but are you over giving for the connection or within the connection? For their role, we see the King of Swords. They may be retreating into logic and boundaries to protect themselves. The friction isn't lack of love, it's a clash of communication styles. So one of you could be the nurturer, the other person could be the more logical individual. So you would have to, being the Empress, you would have to shift into your Queen of Swords energy to meet that King of Swords energy, not vice versa. Okay. Because this person may not be an emperor, and I'm not saying that in the traditional sense of an emperor. I'm not saying this person isn't your end all be all emperor, right? I'm talking about the emperor in the sense of embodying all the elements. Okay, so this person could have a different communication style that you're not used to, and maybe being overly nurturing and all of that is not the way to get through to this person. You may need to bring that down a bit, go into that Queen of Swords energy, be direct and be upfront and just ask questions, um is what I feel. All right, so we have the moon. The moon suggests there's a fear of the unknown. And that typically comes with the King of Swords. The future it's the unknown towards the future that's keeping both of you from being fully vulnerable. To move towards, we have the Lovers, the ultimate card of emotional alignment. You have to have that uncomfortable conversation, but typically uncomfortable conversations are more comfortable with people that are in the King and Queen of Swords. That's why I said, as the Empress, you need to be that Queen of Swords energy and have that direct uncomfortable conversation. For those of you that are familiar with my channel, you know I've always said the hardest energy to master is that King and Queen of Swords energy, because it's the sword of truth. It's people being honest. It's very difficult, or people speaking or saying what's on their mind. And saying what's on your mind doesn't mean you have to hurt people's feelings or be disrespectful. Saying what's on your mind is just being direct. Being direct is saying, yes, I am interested in you, but right now I'm still healing. Or yes, I'm interested in you, but right now my focus and priority is building my finances. Yes, I'm interested in you, but right now my priority is taking care of my children, and we can hang out, but let's get to know each other. That's direct communication. And then being able to receive that right? If you're the king and queen of swords, you're able to receive that honest and forthcoming communication, and you're able to say, okay, thank you so much for letting me know, because now I know how to be within this connection, right? If someone's telling you, yes, I like you, yes, I'm interested, but my priority right now is my children, my priority right now is my health, my priority right now is my finances, but yet you ignore that and you're still showing up as the Empress full embodiment, or you're showing up as the Queen or King of Cups all lovey-dovey, and you're not paying attention to what someone's telling you, that's how you end up in the Five of Pentacles. That's how you feel like someone's not giving. That's how you feel. That's how you experience burnout. That's how you feel like, well, how come they're not doing this? How come? Well, the person is telling you. So if someone is the King and Queen of Swords and they're telling you where they're at, accept it. They, if someone tell you that they like you but you're not the priority, that doesn't mean that you should take offense to that. If you're in your King and Queen of Swords energy, you won't take offense, right? Because the Queen of Swords likes direct communication, the King of Swords likes direct communication. Now if the King and Queen of Swords is working in the reverse, that represents manipulative communication, right? So you have to pay attention. Is someone manipulating you? Is someone telling you, well, you're not my priority, and then they get upset because you don't call them? So you got to pay attention to the energy, right? Because you have people that will say, well, you're not my priority. And maybe they're doing that in the reverse, which is the low vibration, because they're trying to get you to chase them. That's why you got to pay attention to the elements. If you apply both the high and the low of the elements into people, you could be able to see exactly what they're trying to do. You don't need to get readings. Okay. You can literally say, okay, this person is direct. Okay. They're the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords, but are they acting in the low? And then if they switch that energy and then they're acting manipulative, you know exactly what you're dealing with. Right. And then you adjust and you adapt to that energy by saying, okay, I was gonna open up to this person. I was drifting towards that King or Queen of Cups energy. All right, let me pull back my cup. Let me pull out my sword. And now let me deal with this person from a place of logic. See how that works? You just morph through the energies. That's it. That's when you know you're an emperor and empress. You're like dealing with people according to how they show up. You don't just deal with someone as an emperor and empress just because you feel that way. You have to treat people in a way of how they're showing you, right? People, not everyone deserves to be treated that way. Everyone deserves respect, right? But not everyone deserves to be treated as an emperor and empress. So we have we have the Queen of Cups. I feel like some of you were getting close to opening up to this person emotionally. Okay, so let this be a confirmation that you may need to take a step back and ask this person some uncomfortable questions. Now, if this person, because I said that they are the King of Swords, if you're asking them questions like, tell me how you feel about me, like, where do you see this going? And if they get weird about it, that's how you know that this person is in the low vibration of the King of Swords. That doesn't make them a bad person, you guys. When I say the low vibration, it just means that there's things that this person needs to go through within their life. And you can choose to be a part of that, or you can say, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this. You're going to go through your transformation with someone else. You don't necessarily have to say that to the person, but you can recognize that they have an inability to be direct and honest and transparent. So you can be a part of that transformation in two ways. You can choose to still deal with someone that's not going to be direct, or you can pull yourself from that energy and say, and be a part of their transformation and say, you know, I'm not going to play those games. Nice knowing you. See ya. Like, so there's two ways you can play it. And I think people feel if you're not with someone, that means you lose. No, you win when you choose yourself. When you choose what's right for you, you will always win. Okay. So, and again, past connections and past relationships and past situations would have taught you that already, to recognize people in these type of energies, these breadcrumbing energies, these wasting your time energies. And then recognizing the importance of you not trying to hold on to a thought or a feeling, but holding on to what's being shown in your face. Dealing with people from a place of logic. Okay. And again, it's not about, going towards a person aggressively, but it's also not allowing people to waste your time. Because perhaps that's what that person needs. Now, others of you, we have strength. Yeah, you're strong. So you got this. We have strength. We have the 2 of Wands, and we have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you, you're so strong. You're going to definitely choose what makes you happy. We got the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you know what you're doing. All right, I'm going to leave it here. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you soon.